Incoming transmission.
Welcome to the Retro Gaming Club, where the 8-bit dreams never fade away. Gaming to the beat of our favorite tunes. Let's play till the dawn, we'll never lose. Neon lights shining, we're lost in the glow. In the Retro Gaming Club, let's go, let's go. At the Retro Gaming Club.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 29th of January, 2025. Yes, so today I'm looking at Batman, the movie, on the Amstrad GX4000. And so it's not going to be that much different to the actual Amstrad release, but I've not done the Amstrad version yet, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So essentially, it's exactly the same game as the Spectrum version, but with a bit more colour to it. We know the Amstrad could do more colour than the Spectrum at once, but it didn't always work in its favour. And we'll cover bits of that as we go, because I've got issues. Not issues, I've got comparisons, shall we say, to make. But the game's still rock bloody hard, even though it's on a... Should we call the GX4000 a superior system? It's more like it's basically just an Amstrad with a cartridge system. But without the tape deck or keyboard, for that matter. So yeah, it was Amstrad's entry into the console market, but it wasn't as successful as they would like it to have been, I think, and that was a great shame because, well, it kind of suffered the same fate as the CD32. It was just because that was just like an Amiga without a keyboard. So yeah, it's these funny little console entries. There wasn't that many games made for the GX4000 either. So once we've gone through those, that'll be it for the GX4000 on this channel, because there's only so many we can actually do, unless people release new content for it, which is always a good thing. Those buggers can shoot through the walls. That's not good fun. Bad etiquette. Bad etiquette. Anyway, so let's have a look at it, and we'll rip through all the usual criteria. So graphics. We'll start with graphics first. Gotta say... Bugger. That's not what I was going to say. But I've got to say, the Spectrum version was better. And literally, it's not because of the colours. It's just the Spectrum graphics were better. Just more defined, I think. The actual character of Batman on the Spectrum seemed a little bit more defined. Although it's quite nice to have sort of Batman in colour, I suppose. But there was more detail on the Spectrum version, that's all. I mean, the characters seems, to me, smaller on the Amstrad GX4000 than it did on the Spectrum version, which is a bit of a strange one, really. I think it would be sort of a, a carbon copy of the Spectrum version. But to be fair, I like all the colours around the ACME plant as well. That's quite nice. I do like the... Look all the colours in the background. Now you got all the greens, oranges, blues... reds, and of course Batman himself in his black and grey attire, which is weird because in the movie it's all black, but I suppose that wouldn't really translate well for a palette. You've got all the goons here dressed in their swanky suits, which is quite cool, and then we've also got the panel at the bottom, which, as you can see, we've got our score, and under that, we've got the top score. And then next to that, we've got our health meter, which is represented by the Joker's face, or Batman's face, which will gradually transition into the Joker's face the more damage you take. Then next to that, you've got your time limit, and then how many lives you've got left. So the presentation is actually really quite nice. I'm just very much enamoured by the Spectrum version. But we're giving this a fair crack of the whip. At least when you swing into things, you don't die. Looking squarely at you, C64 version, which had a really, really weird thing. If you swung into a wall, you died instantly, which was a really, really strange mechanic to have in a Batman game. Considering the Spectrum and Amstrad games didn't feature that, I'm not sure why the C64 did. Now, we'll cover that at a later date. Well, I can't remember, after doing 740 odd reviews, I can't remember if I've actually done the C64 version of Batman or not. If not, I will look at it anyway. And I've done the Amiga version. That's a very different kettle of fish. And but yeah, it's nice. The animation's nice as well. So when you drop down, Batman's cape billows out behind him. That's quite a nice feature. The Axis chemical plant is done really nicely here. I'm hoping to get to the Batmobile stage. This game was actually quite difficult. The first stage, at least, was quite hard. Ow. Took a grenade to the face. That's not very nice. But after the god-awful Batman Forever, I thought we'd play a decent Batman game this week. And this one is definitely better than that one. Yeah. That was a big pile of steaming turds, that one was, wasn't it? Anyway, it's actually very good fun. And I like the fact that this is a game that will give you a challenge. It's not like roll over and rub my belly easy kind of game. It takes a little bit of thought and almost memory as well to figure out where the goons are, where they're going to appear from, because they will always follow the same routine. But then, if you're like me, you'll forget anyway. So I'm just like firing. There you go. There's one. It's amazing muscle memory, isn't it? Because I sort of remember where the placings are from the Spectrum version, and this being a sort of a, I suppose, conversion of the Spectrum one anyway, or vice versa. I don't know which one came first, but great job by Ocean. This is one of their movie titles that, because you know, Ocean sort of had the monopoly on movie licenses back in the day. And this isn't a bad job at all. I remember playing, the very first time I had a play on this game was on the cover tape. Yes, tape, not disc, tape of the Spectrum version. It was a one level demo. So yeah, that was poo. It was the Axis chemical plant level in its entirety. And it was the 1 to 8K version, so it even had the music for the level as well, which was really quite nice. In fact, we'll move on to music next. Music and sound are really nice. The levels for the game each feature a different soundtrack, which is really cool. I like that a lot. Then you've got all of the other sound effects on top of that. So you've got your batarang being thrown, you've got gunshots, you've got grenade sounds. So it's really actually quite a lot packed into the cartridge. As it would have been for the tape or disc versions as well. Controls are quite simple as well, really. Left, right, up, down. Then you've got fire. Then if you hold fire and push up, then you do your batarang. Your bat rope. And you can do that in diagonals as well. So you can sort of swing across. You can also drop down onto enemies. Obviously, that will deplete your health, which is the only issue really about jumping onto enemies. But it is quite satisfying ambushing them from above. These grenade guys are really relentless and a little unfair sometimes, the reach they've got on those grenades, but if you can sort of figure out a pattern, you can avoid them, but it's quite difficult. Henchmen as well will suddenly just randomly appear out of nowhere. Even if there's no physical or logical way for them to get to you, they'll just appear out of nowhere. So the playability of the game is absolutely fantastic. It's a great game. So you've got this level, and then you've got the Batmobile level. Then you've got the Batcave level where you have to synthesize the Joker's formula. And then I think it's the Batwing stage. And then the final stage is the Cathedral level, which is quite big as well. So there's two really big walkie around levels, a couple of vehicle levels, and also the Batcave level. So for the time for the time it was released, that was quite a lot of content in a game. But just the sheer size of the walking levels, worth the price of the game alone, really. It's a very cool game for a license. Oh, balls! For a licensed game, for a movie, it's up there as one of my favourites. Obviously, you know that Ocean did RoboCop as well. And if you know that, if you look at the animations on Batman, they kind of recycled the RoboCop walk from the game. I suppose if you've got the assets, you might as well reuse them. It cuts down a lot of coding time, doesn't it? But yeah, it's quite nice to see some of the things that worked in RoboCop being brought to this game, such as the enemies when they fall is the same animation as my batarang went straight through his head. When the guys fall from the ledges, that's the same animation as the guys fall out the windows in RoboCop as well. So it's quite nice to see those little extras being put into place in Batman as well. But there's lots to see, lots to do. You are up against a timer, but it's not unfair. You've got, I think it's 10 minutes you need to complete the level. So if you think about it, that's 10 minutes of play there. You've probably got another 5 minutes in the Batmobile. Probably another 5 minutes. It seems longer than 5 minutes when you're playing it. In the Batwing as well. And then probably another 10, 15 minutes on the Cathedral level. So it's got about an hour's worth of gameplay, which doesn't sound a lot, but not even an hour, is it? Go on, Rich. Even you're bad at maths, and you can still work this out. You've probably got about half an hour's worth of gameplay, but it seems a lot longer, especially as you've only got three lives in total, because you've got the one that you're using now, then you've got 2 more underneath that to use. So yeah, it does feel like a longer game than that. But, I thoroughly recommend the Batman series. If you haven't played Batman, the movie, especially on an 8-bit, I thoroughly suggest you do. And for a follow-up Batman game, you want to play Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo, because that was just the definitive Batman Returns game. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But for a starting point, this was really good. So yeah, ported to lots of systems: the Amiga, the Atari, C64, Amstrad, obviously, the Spectrum as well, all of the 8-bits. So you spoiled for choice, really. It did get some 16-bit, so the Amiga as well, 16-bit era as well, it got released on. So you've got a lot of choices. Go and play them. See which one's your favourite, and let me know in the comments below. If you had this game, did you complete it? I did. Back then, I was almost a completionist back then. But I suppose the thing is, when you had a game like, going back to the Spectrum version again, if you've got a game that takes about 10 minutes to load, you're not going to want to just load it up for like 2-minute play. So you made your gaming last back in the day. You really did. And I've done it again. I really cannot time that at all. It's horrible. But all in all, this is a grand entry into the Batman series. So I thoroughly recommend that you give it a go. And on that note, I shall leave it there. I'll leave you with some more footage and see if we can get any further along. But that's it for me talking over the top of it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the review as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Welcome to everybody that's new to the channel. I hope you're enjoying the library of 740 odd games. I'll keep you going for a bit, even if they're only on in the background. So thanks ever so much for that. Really appreciate everybody tuning into the channel. Thank you very, very much. For all my existing subscribers, I'm dead again. That's not what I was going to say. For all my existing subscribers, thank you guys. You guys are legends. Really appreciate you. And if you fancy being a member of the Retro Gaming Club, it's £1.50 a month. You get your name on the end credits. So come on, guys, be part of the club, and I'll see if I can sort out some bonus extras as well at some point. That's basic membership anyway. That's the only option we've got. So I'm not trying to squeeze money out of people. But yeah, if you can afford £1.50 a month, that supports me, supports the channel, and a massive thank you from myself. So on that note, ladies and gents, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back tomorrow with something else for you to look at. And yeah, until then, you keep it retro. And as usual, well, it's bye for now. Bye-bye. I'm Batman.
Welcome, stranger, I know why you're here. You remember games from the yesteryear, games with pixels and that bleep bloop sound, but boy, they were the very best games in town. We light up the night, neon dreams in our eyes, arcade machines whispering low, pixelated worlds where we all come alive, level up high, let the good times flow. Joystick in hand, we're reliving the past, high scores and laughter, we're making it last. With every coin drop, we're forging a bond, in this pixel paradise we'll always respond. Welcome to the Retro Gaming Club, where the 8-bit dreams never fade away. Gaming to the beat of our favorite tunes, let's play till the dawn, we'll never lose. Neon lights shining, we're lost in the glow, in the Retro Gaming Club. Let's go, let's go. Flashback to battles, we'll play side by side, power-ups and hearts, love in disguise. We'll race through the levels, collect all the coins, in this timeless adventure we're waiting to join. Crashing 8-bit beats, igniting the night, from pixels to dreams we'll take flight. With every button pressed, our spirits ignite, in this retro wonderland everything feels right. Welcome to the Retro Gaming Club, where the 8-bit